Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Atlanta Poker Club main event final table for 2016. My name is Jason Spry, and joining me in the booth today is my partner in crime, Travis Hart. Welcome, Travis.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here. Glad to watch this final table, see all the action, put in a couple of my thoughts.
Absolutely. As we start the final table, players have just made the top 10 out of, we had about 200 players join this event, and we've had a few hands so far, and we're going to pick up the action on this hand coming up.
Let's get this table started. Got 10 players left. Should be fun action all day.
The blinds are 12,000, 24,000.
About 4 million chips in place. Could last for a while.
Notice Kevin here has got pocket tens. Kevin has around
awesome.
165K or so. Start the hand.
Earthly's came in for a raise, and Kevin shoved all
All
in
in
right behind him.
Nope, just a raise.
It's not a raise, is it? It is a raise. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear the little sound effect? That's the all in.
There's the all.
Ding.
164,000 Kevin shoved. It's about 8 big blinds, so he didn't really have much play in his stack, so this is his only move. He can really
50,
shove all in and get
60,
the action going here. Try to double up and get the final table started quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Pocket tens with around 8 big blinds is all in, shove every day. So standard play by Kevin. What do you think about the call from Earthly's?
Looks like Earthly's kind of stuck himself with his first raise, so he didn't really have much choice to call, but you got to be wary about those short stacks coming behind you when you raise them up.
60.
You can put yourself in a lot of bad spots.
And that 150.
Kevin's a pretty big favorite here with the pocket tens.
All right, on your backs.
Three other aces folded, right? That's all.
Like IHOP versus Waffle House, one of these hands has a decided statistical advantage.
It's like a clean flop,
No spades.
and he's going to double through Earthly's on the first hand.
All in survives.
Yeah, it's a nice way to start the final table for Kevin there with a quick double up.
Yep, Kevin's been a long-time player with the APC. Sure knows how to get a stack going now.
That's a good point. If you look at the players who made the final table here, it's mostly Atlanta Poker Club veterans that have been playing with us for many, many years. So
Karma coming around.
Always nice to start a short stack and double up at the beginning of the final table. Get things going. You know you need that double up, so you've been thinking about it and thinking about it.
That was a major fold.
looks like there's a handful of pocket pairs out there. This hand's going to most likely lead to some fireworks.
All in.
It's like Kevin has just reshoved Earthly's with his pocket
opposite.
aces versus Earthly's pocket eights.
Earthly's is going to be at risk here with pocket 8. Kevin has aces.
Oh, look at what Karen has. She's got pocket queens right here.
In the big blind even.
Wow.
She seems to not like what she sees. Look at her hands over her face, giving every tell. I don't want to be here.
Pocket queens in this spot. I don't know how I can let this hand go.
You only got about 10 big blinds in front of her, and pocket queens are a monster hand. I definitely would not be folding here. I would be stuck calling.
Wow, she laid them down. She laid the queens down. I agree, Travis. I don't think I could have folded those either. Turned out to be the proper fold, but
There's just too many hands you beat in that spot to be able to fold.
so we got pocket eights versus pocket aces. Earthly's is a pretty big dog here, 27 to roughly 73.
117.
It ain't over till she sing, right? Snowman.
Earthly's flips his pocket 8s. Going in. Looks like 73-27 dog, but I think it's more closer to 81-19, but it's maybe accounting
Pair of
other
ones,
cards that have
pair
been
of
folded.
eights.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, flops an 8. Sick.
Look at me, I'm dealing dirty.
Wow. Hit a 7 for a chop.
Oh. Or a jack.
River ace. Dirty 2-outer. Oh, I can't imagine what Earthly's feels like right
Good
now.
for TV.
Flop an 8, your dream card. Make it to the river and get re-rivered.
Barry Greenstein always said ace on the river.
I hear the tournament director announcing blinds up to 15,000, 30,000.
It would have worked out either way on the flop.
Yeah.
Cut everybody's stacks a little bit.
Put the pressure on just a little bit more.
I didn't. We will on TV. I'm guessing jacks or
Players
queens.
going out quicker.
Yeah.
Blinds up next hand.
It's been a handful of exciting hands here. Some major double ups and some
Blinds
big
up.
all ins.
Just hand up, Radar.
Next hand.
Next hand, all right.
With the blinds in relation to the stack size, though, that is kind of
Yeah,
expected.
he said next
10
hand.
to 15 big
Did you mean
blinds,
the-
you're getting your chips
Oh,
out
good.
pretty soon.
Yeah, and a lot of the pros are doing it where it's in between 15 and 20 stacks now. If you have 20 big blinds, you're really getting short, and so they start shoving almost every pair.
All in.
Speaking of that, it looks like Tim has just gone all in with ace jack, and Steven has re-raised him all in with pocket jacks.
Honeymoon suite reserved.
Tim's comment doesn't sound too happy with his choice there. What do you think about that shove with ace jack? I mean, it's kind of similar to what we were
1, 2,
just
3,
talking
4,
about with the
5.
blinds and the stack size relation.
He's in a tough spot here because he's only got about
1, 2,
15
3,
big
4.
blinds. You got ace jack. It's probably it's the best hand that
You keep.
when it folds to you, it looks great, right? I mean, you just have to worry about the hands that haven't it. But
Well,
I
technically
mean,
we had
it
a
is
chip
easy
leader
to
sitting
pick up
down. But
another hand behind.
Only got
But
the
ace
one.
jack, you can't just raise it and not be stuck to it in this spot just because of his big blind. So might as well
he's
shove
got
it
2 wild cards.
and see how it falls out. If
You
they
want
all
on the
fold,
flop, really? You want to get
you've
ahead?
added
Yeah.
2 big blinds
You
to
want
your
to be
stack.
behind until you're not.
Pocket jacks are a pretty big favorite going to the flop.
Needs an ace, looking for a lone ace.
All right, yeah, that's a great game.
No luck for Tim. That will end his 2016 main event run.
Steven picks up a big pot here. This is around 400,000 in chips. I mean, that's
Button.
having 30 big blinds puts him in a way different situation now than what he was in before. This is a game-changing pot for you at the final table.
That's right. That is a monster pot for Steve. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays his bigger stack now going forward.
Whenever you get this bigger stack, you really want to learn to put the pressure on the people rather than being in a lot of pots, calling, limping, stuff like that will get you into more trouble. Or
Somebody with some
especially you're
change
just
to
trying to
loop
get
in here.
lucky. And the whole part of the game is try to take the luck out of the game.
We're 15:30 right now.
Oh, are we? Oh, good. Do whatever you want.
There's a little screen up there.
Hot dog.
Few players we haven't
Rosetta.
seen much from yet so far at this final table. Where it looks like we're going to see this hand, Joel Gatlin. He's got a ace king of clubs. Joel's got around 700K to start this hand.
I think Rachel borrowed Gil's shirt.
Lucky Batman shirt for Rachel.
Boom. 150, 62.
She has moved all in with ace 10. Got Joel behind her with big slick suited.
Ace King suited here is a monster hand.
350.
You get Ace King, it's third best hand. Just hurry up and die to get your chips in the pot.
350.
Joel re-raises it,
350 is
pops
the new
at
bet.
350K, trying to isolate.
Thanks. I'll forget that a lot.
Looks like nobody else has anything behind. It'll probably close the action down. We'll see those two go heads up.
I'm not lucky. 162.
Yeah, Rachel's going to need to get
Side
lucky
avenue.
to survive.
counting the chips down, getting the pot right.
And some more.
Ace king, ace ten.
Show their hands. See what the board holds.
I want to say Rachel had around 220K when this hand
Oh
started.
my gosh, he just turned a 10. He has a gut shot. Bricks.
Wow. Wow, that was a nice hand for Rachel. Hit her
Is Vicky cheering for you?
very few outs she had on that flop. She had one on the turn.
This is one of her and her dad's favorite hands, and she was glad to win with that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Don't
Absolutely.
pull out sentimental hands. The final table.
Listen, he's here somewhere. He's watching.
One player per hand.
So the blind's at 15:30 now.
He's a fucking
Small.
ghost, but I'll
Like
love him.
Karen has picked up. Shoves all in instantly. He's already had ace, queen, queens, kings.
She's been on
Actions
a
on
bit
the
of a
Ghost
heater
Whisperer.
at the beginning of this final table, so
She had queens last time. She had to lay those down. So kings here. She's not folding today.
yeah, that's true. She did just lay down pocket queens a few hands ago, so this time it looks like she does get called by ace queen from Russ Feynman.
Sometimes the big folds you make can keep you in longer, so you can pick up bigger hands like this. Russ is going to be at risk here. He's all in.
Button's right.
Button is correct.
Small. Rachel, you are the big.
Oh, and kings is going to flop set.
Look, Russ.
Only outs he has is backdoor runner,
Like Coke
runner
versus
spade,
Pepsi.
which
One of these hands
not
is
happening.
crushed.
runner straight.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Spade.
Flops him pretty much dead on that board.
Nope.
Another set we've seen flop.
A lot of sets today.
So that knocks Russ out in 8th place, and we're down to the final 7 players.
Live, Karen.
Karen wins another big hand and builds her stack.
Make a man.
The more short-handed we get, the more hand values those hands
There's no
will
cameras
go
that
up
can see.
in
I took
hand
the shoes
value.
off. Is
So
there?
That's right. You got to open your range up a
You
little
guys
bit.
did.
You got to play
If you guys
wider,
didn't notice, then I'm good.
wider range of hands as fewer
Actions
players
on
remain.
you.
We'll
those
see the
blinds come around fast. Will eat your stack quicker if you
you'll
don't get
see.
active.
That's
Look
right.
about 5 minutes ago, and somebody.
Speaking of getting an active, we've got looks like Ace King versus Ace Jack. This hand, Joel versus Danny. Let's see how this hand
Edit
plays
all the
out.
best hands down to make it a.
Yeah, but I think they both they have the raw and the
Yeah.
Like Joel's going to put in a raise. Blind versus
Yeah,
blind.
you'll
These
want
are
to edit
two
out a
big
lot of this
hands.
table talk that I'm giving.
like we're doing here right now.
Yeah. You
If
say
we
whatever
keep
you
it
want.
up, then no one show anything.
Depending on your opponent, depending on how active Joel's been all day, can sometimes change the play of the big blind. In this spot, Joel, he's very active. He likes to raise a lot and be shovey. Yeah, I would probably be repopping him all in. He may take me out on this hand. But
Yeah.
Danny folded.
Wow, that's a pretty fast laydown for Ace Jack there, knowing Joel is aggressive and everything's folded to him. He's got a wide range that he's raising with right there, but turned out to be the right laydown, so
Joel basically raised enough to put him all in, I think. So.
yeah, do you want to risk your tournament with Ace Jack right there? Good question.
Do you ever really want to risk your tournament with Ace Jack?
Burnt me many a time.
Raise.
Looks like another raise coming from Joel. This time he's got a Jack Queen.
He's definitely getting more active when that button's to his left, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly
100
is.
total.
Karen's thinking about it. She's got a ace with a 7 kicker. She probably makes the right lay down there. Just don't risk chips with a weak hand like that out of position against a player like Joel. He's betting almost every flop, regardless whether he hits it or not.
You definitely don't want a flat call in that spot. I mean, not with the amount of chips that they have in play.
Good point.
Mama
That is definitely not a
Fold.
flat call hand. You can maybe re-raise and get him to lay down. or just take the prudent measure and fold.
A lot of risk in trying to be right with ace-7.
Yes, there is.
Like we're going to a flop. Queen 9 versus Jack 7, and Randall is going to flop a jack.
Kevin's got a backdoor flush draw, it looks like. He needs a spade.
He turned a 9.
Could be an interesting play on the turn here. It was just a call, betting a call.
We have a river, spade, 9. It's a mega card for Kevin, and it looks like he's locked the hand up, but does he know it?
I don't see how Randall can make a call here with just a jack on this board. He makes the call.
He does have a 7 of spades, so he did have baby flush.
I didn't see that. Good point.
And things are 100.
Kevin wins that hand for a pretty nice spot.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
Oh, super.
Well, we've got just a minute here before this hand starts. If you guys are interested in watching every hand that takes place in the final table, we are going to be showing the entire final table stream. You can watch all 130 hands as well. So just want to let you guys know that. But now we'll look at the action. Looks like Joel has come in for a raise with King, Queen offsuit.
Looks like he made about 120,000.
I believe the blinds are around 15 and 30 right now, so 4x raise.
Rachel is in the big blind with ace-10 and lets the best hand go.
Yep.
That's good.
Thank you. Wasn't counting.
Looks like Joel has outaggressed the table so far today. Keeps taking the first move.
I need to make sure we're
Put the pressure on.
A little bit.
What you got to do to be successful at tournaments, you got to be willing to put the pressure on the other players.
That's an eventual call.
Spring call.
very sloppy. Very sloppy.
Like we got 4 players going to this flop.
Well,
It's like Joel's in the big blind with ace deuce suited. Karen has called with 9-10 of diamonds. It's like Rachel's coming on in with a small blind, and Kevin came in with a weak ace.
Very rare to see limp pots this late in the event.
Karen flops a pair of 9s.
Check to her. Nobody else has anything, and she's going to win this pot.
She likes to trade.
This is a healthy pot. It's got 4 big blinds in it. Every big blind
Where you coming
added
from?
to your stack
Joel,
is very
you're the
valuable.
big.
all right.
That's you. Andy Black folds. Henderson folds. And a call. And a fold.
Joel's in the big blind with queen 7. Karen's got king jack of hearts. I believe
But
she
watch
has limped in.
this.
Another limp pot.
Chick.
Joel checks, and we're
Okay.
going to see
Now
a flop.
watch.
Karen's flopped a flush draw, and Joe has blanked it.
Check, check on the
I just got
flop.
us 3 new sponsors. It's
Sixty.
Joel's going to turn to
60,000.
7 here. Bets at it, and Karen with her overcards and flush draws is going to call.
See the river?
She rivers the flush.
Or of hearts gives Karen the second nut flush.
See what Joel does here.
Karen has bet. It looks like 100K.
Take any chips off? Are you gonna take any chips off? We're gonna take the reds out.
So you're in Joel's
You got
spot.
really
You've
lucky
got
on the river. Stack your reds.
a pair of sevens. Board is just giving the flush.
It's a weird pot because Karen could have took this pot on the flop, I think, betting her flush draw and overcards on the flop, and then she kind of let Joel catch up and she recaught back up.
That's right. You think about the hand before that. She bet on the flop and took it down. She probably could have done the exact same thing this hand as well. Regardless, she won the pot, so
Yeah,
Joel
well,
made the right lay down.
Twice our starting stack.
Looks like Kevin made it 120.
Kevin's got a nice suited ace here. Looks like he's going to run into Steven with ace queen.
Steven's in the small blind, so he's got a little more need to win the pot. Be more sticky.
And I believe I just heard Steven move all in. Karen quickly gets out of the way, and it's back on Kevin. Ace 10 here.
Kevin's got a big chunk of his stack out there in the pot already, so he's going to be more likely to call in this spot.
It's going to be hard for him to lay it down. You can tell he doesn't really want to make the call, but he knows he has to.
Steven's not very aggressive in most cases, so when he does get aggressive,
Hey, you got half your stack here. You go.
It's a good point. Steven's more likely to call you than to raise you, so.
Kevin was probably hoping that Steven had a pair, maybe like eights or nines, to get it in with a race. Didn't work out this time. Looks like
460.
Steven
on
turned a
top.
queen.
I think you're right.
And that's going to do it, and Kevin's going to be out. of the
350. Oops. 4. Yeah, he's got you.
That, I think.
It does look like Steven's got him covered, and that will be the end of Kevin's tournament.
Enjoy playing with you. All right. Thank you. I will.
Tough day. Nice finish, though, for Kevin. Sixth place
Yeah, but your
is
stats will go
200.
all
He was at a
wonky
casino,
like-
he'd have made money
no.
right there.
No. She was big, yes. Small, big, you.
Joel looks down and sees ace king offsuit. Definitely a raising hand for Joel. Question is how much?
2040.
He's under the gun here in this spot.
Come on.
If you haven't heard, under the gun is the new button.
First opportunity to put a raise in, right?
That's less than a big
First
blind.
opportunity to steal. And you get a little more credit when you do it that early because you got to weed through the whole table. People will start laying down more marginal hands for you.
I'm gonna have to look.
Look at there, ace jack. Hand we've talked about a few times tonight. Looks like Randall just moved all in over the top with ace jack.
Randall's got quite a few chips here. This is a big overshove to me. In my
Got a Dell on Dell hand.
He could have flatted Joel, seen a flop, maybe try to outplay Joel.
Pretty fast call by Joel, which I did expect.
You know what happens?
Like post
Yeah,
versus
ace king, you just can't
Kellogg,
fold
One of
it.
these
No, you're
hands
not
has a
folding
slight
that hand.
mathematical advantage.
Raising early, you're willing
It's
to
the
commit.
nuts.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I could still.
Thank you.
Gonna need a jack and the river, and no such luck for Randall.
6.
5,
I'm not
6,
playing that.
35.
See all those queens and deuces out there on that board,
35.
folks? You don't know my favorite hand's queen
6.
deuce?
Yeah.
Catch Shalyn playing it every day.
You'd have had a full house with it this hand,
35.
Travis.
I think it might be too
Ooh.
Yeah, remember
much. I think it's too much.
Let's make sure.
I think it's too much.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Old
5.
school APC members will certainly remember the
16 of
Queen
six,
Deuce
and then you
Mafia.
get
So
25.
Quick shout out to all you guys who have been around that
10,
long.
20,
That goes
35.
back to you.
Those are not ones. I thought we established that.
Crazies with
Now
the
the
team.
button's good. Just want to be honest.
So if there's one thing we've learned from the tournament so far today, everyone, it is just fold ace jack. It's never going to win.
After that hand, Joel is the extreme chip leader now at this point. He's got the next closest stack probably doubled in size. With only 5 players left. This is big time.
Look.
15 more?
55 total.
Or
Randall's going
know
to
what I
shove the
have.
short
300
stack.
more.
here we go.
300, yeah, 300.
55,000. It's only 25 more.
Rachel calls that blind. She can't fold any 2 cards there. So she was a little surprised to see she actually had a decent hand.
Wakes up with the speed limit.
Ooh, straight in.
5? How about a deuce?
She should have shouted presto.
Big turn card for Randall. So many outs.
Oh, that was a big turn card. It gave him a flush draw and a straight draw. No luck.
Too many out syndrome. Right.
Do we want to chop now?
And now we are down to 4 players.
Sound like a camera's firing up.
It's Iron Man. It's Iron Man.
Oh, sound like a flash for a camera.
Got Rachel on the button here. If you haven't seen her play with the button lately.
All in.
Ooh, how much is it?
She shoves from the button.
Jack 10 suited. One of my personal favorite hands.
Definitely a nice drawing hand.
Joel's got a decision to make. He's got a small pocket pair. Usually you want to be the aggressor with a small pocket pair and not call off your chips with them, but you want to have some fold equity, raise with them.
Well, yeah, what Rachel's done here, she's taken his move. So whenever someone bets you all in, you know what's the best situation you could have for a pair of 3s in this spot. The best situation would be for someone to have deuces. In every other situation, you're either beat or racing. So it's a good option to lay it down here.
I agree. At best, you're a coin flip. Unless she happens to have pocket 2s, which I'm not willing to
Very
risk it.
rare occasion.
Looks like Joel wakes up with another nice hand with ace queen.
You, sir, do not play
Danny
Del
is
Rio
in the big
enough.
blind with pair of 6s.
Wow, that was an instant fold.
But if you win
Danny,
the seat, make the
He
final
didn't,
table,
he
and
didn't
you've
want
got
anything
your
to do
section of the
with
Rio.
pocket 6s right there,
We're all
even
wearing
though it's the Del
big
Rio
white
house
thing
hand,
shirts.
apparently.
All in.
All in.
That would
That's
be
been a tough
awesome.
lay down for me.
Wear it in the good town.
Joel's so aggressive already.
Everybody's wearing all white.
Now, Joel did have a hand, but I still would have been able to had to shove behind.
200. 195.
Rachel has moved all in again this time. A little bit lighter of a hand, 8-9 offsuit. I mean, they are connected, but she can't be liking it now when Joel has re-raised her all in. She knows she's behind.
And Joel's picked up ace king once again.
195.
195.
He is catching ace king, ace king, ace king.
Let's see if Rachel can get lucky one more time.
I hear so many players talk about how much they hate ace king. Man, I love getting that hand.
I would take it just about every hand for sir. Pretty much a brick
it.
flop for. Oh, Rachel turned an
Turns
8.
an 8. Now she's ahead.
Oh.
Oh, ace on the river again.
Wow.
Okay.
The best hand wins. And Rachel leaves the table. And now we are down to 4 players.
5th place finish for Rachel. That's another good showing for her. She's always a competitor and tough to beat at the table.
Rachel, you played so good for a girl.
Oh my gosh.
And I just want to say, is Danny Pittman ever going to play a hand?
He's been a little bit
Not
conservative
as
so
good as
far
she
at this
did.
final table, but he's still got chips. He's still got a
Oh,
chance
Rachel,
to
she
win this
played very
thing.
good
So
for a
maybe
Very good for a girl.
Got to keep in mind, you're
No
there to
girl played
win,
better
not
than you, though.
survive. Not
Ex-
at the final table.
especially in this tournament, because as most of you guys know, first place in this event wins a seat into the real World Series of Poker out in Las Vegas. You know, $10,000 buy-in and some travel money. So considerable difference between winning this event and finishing 2nd through 5th. So you have to play this one to win. You have to take
60 's
those
the bet.
chances at the final table.
If we were at the final table of a 500 buy-in event, he would be soaring up the ladder in money. But it's just not the case in this event. It's winner take all pretty much.
That's right. You need to go into it with that kind of mindset. You're here to win this tournament, not to finish 2nd, 3rd. You
Off
want
the
to take
flop.
1st place.
Got Joel and Karen playing another pot.
Karen checks top pair.
How much is it?
Let Joel bet, and then she raised all in on him.
Joel's got one of mine and Mark Anthony's favorites, King 8.
Come on, Mama.
That's
No, 375. Let's see.
This is pretty much the precise hand that we played with each other
Let's see.
years and years ago.
One,
That's how I met
two.
Mark Anthony. He shoved on me with a
350 total.
Queen Jack pre-flop, and I snap called him a King 8 and
So
told
50
him I
bucks.
know what he had, Queen
trying to
Jack.
buy it. Got caught in my hand of the cookie jar here.
Joel knows he was caught
50 more.
trying to buy that one.
Let's see how you hold.
It's a pretty dry flop. It's not going to hit many hands, so I can definitely understand
Just think of
the
it as 10
the C
more.
bet at this hand trying to take it, but Karen trapped him in that one. She was going for the double up, and unless Joel gets lucky with a king on the Turner River, she is going to accomplish that.
Nice hand.
Another double
hand,
up
Mama.
for Karen. Puts a nice dent in Joel's mountain of chips.
All the hands we've seen so far, Karen's been doubling up. It's a big dent in Joel's stack there as you watch him count his chips again.
Did they
A lot
muck?
of times when you lose a big pot like that, you want to kind of reset yourself before you do
Sort of.
anything too crazy. At least give yourself time to think. But whenever you're shorthanded like
Nothing.
that,
Just
you
keep looking that
can
way.
fall into the trap of needing to win more chips
sure
just to
they
keep
mucked.
up with the blinds. It's a big point for Joel.
No idea.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to avoid going on a little bit of mini
Small,
tilt right after
big,
losing a big hand.
1.5.
Sometimes you want to get up and take a break if you can, if it's early in the tournament. But you get down to the end of the tournament here and it's shorthanded, you have to be here for every hand.
All in for 7 more. 35 more. Whatever.
6,000 on top?
7,000 more.
See, Steven wasn't too happy with that hand. He's a little frustrated, tilting all in.
And it looks like Danny's going to call him.
Steven's got the best hand with a ace deuce, called by 10-7. So we'll see what happens on the flop. Yeah, he's not a huge favorite.
Oh, something good, bud.
Wow.
No diamonds.
Little something for everybody on this one. 2 pair for Danny on the flop.
On to an ace or a deuce on the river, and Danny wins. Looks like Steven is knocked out of the tournament. Nice run, Steven.
Yeah, well,
And then there were 3.
we could have gone down to suits and it
Start
could,
seeing a lot of chips moving around the table in a merry-go-round style fashion coming up.
3-handed play. The button's always
Erin is
first act.
awesome,
Got the
and
2
she
blinds
never
out in front of
swears.
you, and
Raise.
little commentary from our dealer there.
300.
a bunch and a bunch more.
Ace-queen on the button is a monster
And
hand.
now I have to do some math.
It's like Danny Reshoves all in with pocket fours.
Yeah, I call.
That's probably going to be a.
Joel makes the call, and we're going to essentially flip a coin.
Miss fours.
And basically, this hand played itself. You know,
So
it's hard
Yeah.
to fold any pair
Three, four,
three-handed. It's hard to
five,
fold
and a
ace queen
quarter.
three-handed. So you just get it in and see who wins.
Yeah, that's right. Ace queen's a standard raise. Pocket fours is a standard reshove, and ace queen can't fold right there with stacks the size they are.
And the blinds are 40,000, 80,000. There's only 50 big blinds on the entire table, so it's gonna
Like the tango
just
versus
gonna
the
be getting
merengue.
it in a lot.
One
We'll
of
see
these
who gets
hands with
lucky.
a slight mathematical advantage.
Fours are holding.
That card gives Joel a ton more outs. Oh,
Bring
that
your
was a
drawing
brick on the
mean to
river.
this table.
Joel could have hit an 8, a queen, a king, a ace.
Button is here.
And bricks.
Danny with a very nice double up.
Well, I hope I can finish better than I did. We'll see. Thank you.
If you were listening, I think you just heard Clint come over to give Joel some words of encouragement. He let him know that he made it just about as far as he made it the previous year. Thanks, Clint.
Clint's always chiming in.
Like Pop-Tarts versus
It's on
Tootsie
Facebook
Strudel. One
or
of
if
these
it's
hands
on
has a slight
in person.
mathematical
He's
advantage.
got something to say.
Wow.
Can't hear you.
Well, it's a chop. Pull it back.
Human
They
nine.
both flopped open-ended straight draws. One the high end, one the low end. Ace nine.
Okey-doke.
Danny wins another huge pot. Joel's
1,
chip
2,
lead has
3,
been
4, 5,
severely
6, 7, 8,
crippled.
and a quarter.
Danny's made a big move the last couple hands with his pocket fours and now ace nine. He really came up a long way since we got three-handed.
Yeah, we hardly saw him play a hand here at the beginning of the final table. But now that we've gotten down to the final 3 or 4, he's been way more involved.
Give me a chair at the table.
Looks like blinds are 50 and 100 now, so they've really gone up a lot. If you're not active, you're falling behind quickly.
Yeah, the blinds will absolutely eat you up at this point in time. Three-handed, the button folds.
Been nice to see Danny put in a raise there out of the small blind with a king. But he may win a bigger pot because he checked.
Looks like he checked top pair on the flop as well. Bet the turn.
Karen has turned open-ended.
She wants to stick around for the river, see if she can catch a 2 or a 7.
Looks like Danny's going to win this pot with a bet on the river.
I don't think Karen could have folded quicker. So these players right now, Travis, they're feeling it. All three of them know they've got a realistic shot to win this thing. The pressure's got to be on. You don't want to make any mistakes. You also have the idea that everybody in the Atlanta Poker Club is going to see your cards and see how you play. So it's a little bit of those kind of mind games going on when you're playing this final table.
For sure. You know, you sit there and you play, and you've played all day without having that camera on top of you. And now you have that camera analyzing every move you make, or even thinking about what me and Jason are going to say.
Yeah, that's right. They know me and you are going to be doing the commentary and discussing some of the play. So maybe a little different thought processes that go into some of the plays. They don't want to show themselves playing bad cards or making mistakes. But
I think in this moment, you kind of just got to try to squeeze all that out of your head and just play your game, you know? Try to forget everyone else around you. Extreme focus is always needed.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it's personally like to be at the final table of a big tournament. I mean, the pressure's obviously high. The stakes are no laughing matter. And hey, this is what we play poker for, is to get into positions like these three players are playing right now. So I'm jealous. I want to do it myself.
Well, the more money you start playing for, the more pressure there is, obviously.
That's
but
right.
you also find out who you can pressurize with that money on the line.
That's a good
You
point.
try to figure out who your target can be at all times, constantly changing your target based on the table at hand. Looks like Joel's going to pick up another pot with a little bit of aggression.
Yeah, he did not have the best
Bring your
hand then,
drum
but he
into this
bet
table.
and took it down.
Joel has probably picked up the most pots that I've seen so far
Button
today
is
with just
here.
his aggression.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's definitely been the most aggressive player here at the final table.
Every little bit helps as you're going through a tournament, just to try to keep your stack. That'll help you play a race later on in the future of the tournament. So just picking up a little small pot after small pot's okay.
Yeah, that's right. You build chips throughout the tournament, so when you do get into a race situation, if you lose, it's not the end of your tournament. As we've seen Joel do multiple times here in the past few hands. He had the chip stack to withstand losing some of those races, and
Light mathematical advantage.
he continues his
Wow.
aggressive way. This time he looks
It's a
like he
chop.
might have stepped
Pull it back.
into it, though. Karen has picked up a real hand with big slick, and she's moved all in, and he snap calls her.
Kind of trapped himself in this spot. If he had made a 2.5, 3 times raise, he might have been able to fold. But looked like he put about 400,000 out there, where he could have got off at like 250.
Yeah, he was definitely committed after the size of his initial raise. He's drawing a dead in this hand. Karen wins another big double up through Joel.
Ace King's good again. Ace King's been winning today.
Yes, it has.
Deeper you get in these tournaments, bigger hands you got, better off you're going to be. Got Joel with King 9 again on the button. Is he going to keep up the aggression like he did last time? No, he just limps
All
this
right.
time. Changes his style of play.
Something new has been added.
Family pot. First time we've seen that in quite some time.
Had he raised this time, he would have got away with it. Now he flops a straight.
Wow, flopped the straight. He's
Flopped the pair, and
He's
she
getting
comes
some
home with
action
him.
from Karen, who's drawing pretty much dead. That actually gives her some chop outs. I don't see how Karen can make this call.
No, not with middle pair.
There's only 300K more to call, but still, she's got to know she's way behind.
King 9 giveth and King 9 taketh away.
How many times have I given Joel Ace King already?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
The Ace King magnet finally flopped his joint. Fold.
Not big blind.
Your big blind. Action's over here.
This will be an interesting pot. They both have ace 6. So aggression usually wins when everybody has the same hand.
Karen had the first shot to be aggressive, and
Damn it.
she limps and then reshoves all in.
This is really squeezing Joe up.
How much?
Yeah, he wasn't too happy with the way he played that hand there.
His bet sizing has cost him a little bit of chips so far. Could have got off at another 250.
Yeah, he's committed himself again.
Leave me with 2. Oh, wait a minute. What are you limping with?
Big thinker. So hard to put your opponent on an ace when you have one, when you're
Especially-
playing three-handed.
Especially the way Karen played that hand with a limp, then an instant reshove.
It really looks like she has like a big pair
It
now
does.
of jacks.
That's definitely going through his mind right now. He's trying to think if he folds, how many chips he has left, what he's going to be able to do with his chip stack after this hand.
Well, even in that spot, Joel could have even just went ahead and shipped it all in. Being three-handed, rather than putting out 40% of his stack.
Nice play by Karen. Picked up a huge pot without showing any cards down.
4 big blinds added to her stack on that one play. Nice to see her limp in and have an idea to come back over the top at Joel after he's been so aggressive today.
Yeah,
You
I
can tell
agree.
she's playing poker.
Pocket deuce can't like that flop too much or that turn. See if Joel can get aggressive and take this one away.
A lot of times you're going to see this one check down all the way. Like Karen bets this one. And Joe is going to call king high just to see the card.
Yeah, it's an interesting play on the river. I don't know.
I guess Joel thought he could beat a bluff. He had a bluff catcher and she was bluff. But I'm surprised that she even bet out.
That's what I was thinking about and wasn't sure if her bet made sense right there, but it did work out for her in that situation.
If Joel thinks she's that weak, he should be raising. She could have insta folded that one.
He raised all in. Very likely she has to lay that pocket twos down.
Flatting just to see
Call.
if you know someone's weak, just put that raise in on them.
And fold.
It's different.
And an all in.
Looks like Danny's moved all in with ace-9. It is the best hand. See if Karen can. Looks like she's getting calling chips out.
She's sitting on the biggest stack right now, so she's trying to headhunt and take players out.
We're a bunch of cards higher than 9. Here, let's do it like this.
Karen's calling for a 4. Maybe get lucky and win this hand.
More
It's about
like that.
70-30.
Good hand, Danny.
Hey, you got top pair. That's good.
Wow.
Oh, 2 pair on
Two
the
pair on the
turn.
river for Karen.
Aces and sevens with a 9.
Oh, and a
Oh,
counterfeit. Now
counterfeit
ace 9
2
is
pair.
good.
Wow.
What a turn of
Get a
events.
picture of that right now? You good?
Wow. Feeling the pain.
Nice hand, Danny.
It's what I do.
It's never easy. It is never easy.
Supposed to be nice to cookies.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's poker.
They used to call me the Ganges. Dirty, dirty river.
I was just walking 9. Yeah, 7 was good too.
The 7 was really good to you. That will be on our poker buddies' bad beat.
Or an 8.
I'm not going to play the game again with you, Danny.
Karen has an ace here in the big blind. She just opts to check it.
A nice suited ace, shorthanded. I like to come in aggressive, just try to pick up the blinds. It's worth it in this point in time.
Especially in the big blind. You already got so many chips in the pot. Try to protect yourself.
She completely missed that flop, but fired a bet out at it and took it down. Worked out for her, but ace-6, three-handed is probably the best hand out there. It's worth it putting in a raise, but
Essentially in that spot, Danny, he checked her twice, basically. And so
Hey, Joel.
once someone checks you twice, why not put a bet
Bring
in?
you guys here. They didn't bring us ladies anything.
Karen limps in with a 7-8, and Joel's in the big blind with a deuce 8, so we're just going to see a flop cheaply.
Come on.
Joel's got top pair, and Karen flops top 2.
Yeah,
Snap, call.
Oh,
Joel is drawing extremely thin.
Both players flop top pair. It's pretty much going to get in every time here in this spot. Karen's 2-pair hold up.
Joel finishes 3rd, and now we are down to the final 2.
And as Clint said, Joel finished better than last year.
Thanks again, Clint. All right, so now we are heads up, and
action's over here.
as you know, Travis, it is a different game when it's heads up. Your range of hands has to open up considerably, and heads up play, just you versus your opponent.
Well, Danny is on a short stack here. He picks up ace king the first hand. Pretty much going to be willing to get it in almost with anything short stack. He's got to make something happen. Karen has 10 jack. Pretty decent. She has a chip lead. Maybe taking a shot at him here is not too bad of an idea. But kind of even letting it go just to get a feel for what your opponent's going to do to you is better off play.
Yeah, Karen starts heads up with about a 3-1 chip lead. If she calls right there and loses that hand, they are back to even money, and it's anybody's game. You don't want to give up the chip lead if you can help it when you get heads up. So I can understand the fold there. Find a better spot. She's not in as much of a hurry as he is, so try to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, sometimes when your opponent is short stack, you let the clock do the work on him. Just grind him to death.
That's right. And look, she turns around and picks up ace jack suited the very next hand and takes the blinds from her with a raise.
Oh, that was your hand there. That was your hand there. Wasn't no. That was 8-10.
Got these guys playing for 10,000 or nothing. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to finish second in this tournament.
Call, check.
I finished second in many big tournaments, and it is probably my least favorite finishing position. So you want the win. Flop misses both players, but Karen's got the actual best hand. She did hit the 9, so hit bottom pair. Probably best when he heads up.
And he didn't raise, so he probably doesn't have ace or king in his hand.
Right. Pretty standard heads up poker so far. Blinds just went up to 75,000, 150,000. Karen's sitting on roughly 3 million. Danny's got about 1 million.
Danny's just going to be looking to get a hand all in. If he does anything that's less than an all in, he's getting
Family pot.
crazy and trying to get greedy, probably. So he's trying to build a pot if he does more than that. Karen flops a pair of 4s. Now they both have a gut shot.
Karen bets 400K. Danny doesn't really have too much going in this hand. He's going to pick a better spot.
Yeah, I mean he could already have the straight, and he could be drawing dead to chop.
With the blinds as big as they are, you
Call.
feel that
And a check.
large heads-up
Another
confrontation
family
is all but inevitable here before too long.
Yeah, something's going to happen soon.
Deuce 3 is about as bad as you can get for starting hand. Of course, you pick up a 4 right here for the gut shot straight. Karen flopped top pair. Looks like Danny bet it and Karen called.
I need a 4.
Danny turns a pair and still has his gut shot.
Keeps
Looks
betting
like he
at it.
shoved all in.
And we are all in. Karen with top pair. Danny
They know.
with a low pair. A lot of outs, actually.
Oh my God.
It's like a king on the river is going to do it, and Karen is our winner.
Congratulations, Karen Meredith, our 2016 Atlanta Poker Club main event champion. Excellent final table, everyone.
And that's the way the cookie
Glad I
crumbles.
could be here to watch this.
You get all those.
And look, she has tears of joy coming.
I remember after this event was over, Karen was in shock for quite some time. She realizes she just got to check one of the things off her bucket list, gets to play in the World Series of Poker main event out in Las Vegas.
Yeah, hopefully this year I'll get to play in that. Trying to look into seeing how I can do that.
I'd love to see you play that myself, Travis. It'd be an awesome time. Atlanta Poker Club members, I want to say a quick thank you, guys, for making this all possible. I hope you enjoyed Travis and I's commentary on last year's main event. Once again, we will show a full stream of every hand. You won't get to hear Travis and I talk about everything, but if you want to watch it from beginning to end, we will have that stream available. We'll also be shooting another table similar to this in this year's upcoming main event. So hope to see you all there. Travis, once again, thanks again for joining me in the booth, and best of luck, everybody. We'll see you guys at the table.
All right, appreciate you for having me. Thanks.